Day one was a pretty interesting day for me. We got a fairly late start, so started putting one foot in front of the other around high noon. And that was a rough one for me. It was just brutally hot, like we're talking 98, and it's just a long trek. The first couple of hours we couldn't get my leg to stay on in the slightest. Eventually had to resort to dunking my prosthetic and my liner into the river to make it cool down. This morning, kind of learned our lesson from yesterday. It is much cooler early off, so we're gonna step off here shortly. Feeling good, though, all things considered. Looking back on yesterday, had great conversation, really got a feel for one another. You know, did some high points, did some low points, things to work on. But otherwise, I'm excited. Slept like shit with my negative 40-degree bag, but I'll be the happy one up high. Thanks, guys, and yeah, I'll let you know how the rest of the day goes. So it's the beginning of what would be our day 4 on the mountain. Yesterday was our third day of trekking into base camp. It was a tough day. My back was giving me a ton of grief. Just the amount of pressure that I was putting through my arms and in my core into my side sticks to be able to stabilize myself. So I was definitely a little broke off by the time that we got here, but all is well. Today's a rest day, thank goodness, and it's conveniently on my birthday as well. So we're all just hanging out, taking in the views and stretching and recovering, and gearing up for a carry tomorrow. Yeah, I'm super excited and stoked on how everybody's come together. Couldn't have asked for a better person to be on this climb with Chris and I. You know, David's been a trooper. I'm super proud of him, and he really is. He's a huge asset to the team. You know, not that I didn't expect it, but he's really blown my mind. I am super blessed to be able to call him a friend and now a climbing partner. So here's to turning 28 and spending a rest day at base camp of Aconcagua. All right, guys, day 5. We just completed our carry up to Camp 1. It was pretty hit and miss. Had a great time up until I hit what they call the minefield. And then once I was there, I took some swan dives, did some face plants, the whole nine. And then one of those situations where I kind of had to chew my way up. The team was fucking awesome on the way up. Had to MacGyver a couple of things. David pulled through in more ways than one. Christopher pulled through in more ways than one. Carrying my pack through the minefield. Couldn't be more proud of the team. Couldn't be more stoked with the team. And yeah, my excitement from this morning has carried over to right now. I can't wait to get down, enjoy our rest day. Then you know what? Turn around and do it all again the next day and move on from Camp 1 up to Camp 2. It's going to be a pretty cool experience to share with these guys. So we're on day, what would be technically 9 of our Aconcagua climb. Yesterday, we actually moved everything from base camp up to Camp 1, and today we're going to be doing a carry from Camp 1 up to Camp 2. So basically, just moving all of our food, fuel, supplies, things that we don't necessarily need for tonight, ice axes, crampons, that sort of thing. You know, the move went really well yesterday. Everybody looked strong. Everybody finished happy, it seemed anyways. But otherwise, yeah, we're just looking forward to continuing to move. We've rearranged our schedule a couple of times now, just based off of the winds and the weather, basically. But hopefully everything holds out, and we're still looking to summit in the first few days of February. So fingers crossed, and yeah, we'll keep you updated with everything. Otherwise, to the summit. All right, everyone, it is Tuesday, January 29th, and we just successfully moved from Camp 1 up to Camp 2. Super stoked on how everybody did yet again. Everyone looks strong. Everybody's smiling and laughing and still talking. Every once in a while, like yesterday, I would get in my head and I might have to say sorry a time or two to a couple people, but otherwise everyone feels great, looks good. We've been watching the weather. It looks like the first and the second are going to be our best bids. Outside of that, we're going to set up camp here, and then we'll have a rest day tomorrow. And then from there on, move up to Camp 3, and then, God willing, we'll be making our summit bed. Super excited, and yeah, just definitely proud of the team. All right, guys, it is January 30th. We are on our rest day at Camp 2. I'm super excited, honestly. I was in some pain this morning, some excruciating pain in my neck. Wasn't really feeling it this morning at all, but of course David, Colo, and Christopher got together, rallied me, and fixed the situation. Otherwise, yeah, we're looking forward to being able to move tomorrow up to Camp 3. Depending on how everyone's feeling, we'll either have a rest day or we'll get our first attempt at our first summit bid. And February 1st is looking like the best day. February 2nd, not far behind it, but that's really our weather window. So hopefully we can make that happen accordingly. But otherwise, just like we're reflecting on everything and what's been going on, my prosthetic has held up really well. On our initial carry up to Camp 2, I had a hard time. Just had like a pressure cyst. My leg was getting chewed up. The nerves weren't cooperating. Nothing was really going my way whatsoever. But now that we're actually up to Camp 2, things really feel like, not to put the cart before the horse, but things really feel like they've come together, and I'm super optimistic. Everybody looks strong. Everyone's still communicating well. Of course, every once in a while, we all have our little hiccups and have get in our own heads and have a little bit of a bad mood from time to time. I'm definitely the number one culprit of that. So, but otherwise, it's a beautiful day, and hopefully the weather rides out for us. Outside of that, I'm really hoping this happens. I was talking to David this morning, and had the realization that how fucking cool would it be if he got to go home and say, what, his first big summit was Aconcagua. He's not going to get any taller than that unless he's going to the Himalayas sometime soon. So pretty cool experience to be able to share with him. And Christopher, David, and Cole really, I couldn't do it without them. This isn't something that I can do by myself. So thank God that they're here, and hopefully there'll be more summits in our future. So it is February 5th. I am officially back in Mendoza. The descent was anything but easy. It was pretty brutal. I look ridiculous with this nice little patch on my forehead. My leg's all cut up. I am beat down, but mentally and emotionally, I am just ecstatic. I am over the moon happy that David made it to the summit, that I made it to the summit. And then I've just gotten some brilliant news over the last 24 hours. So life's good. I'll probably be laying in bed for the next couple of days until my leg's better, and hopefully so I don't scare anybody with this crazy face of mine. But otherwise, I've just been reflecting on everything that's happened over the last 3 weeks, and I just feel blessed, and I'll make sure to try and keep everyone updated with the thoughts that run through my head and what goes on as I process this. But there's some really big things coming, and I'm so excited to pay it forward and grow with everyone and rise to the top with everyone, all of my sponsors, supporters, loved ones around me. It's going to be a pretty cool couple of years. Thank you guys for everything. I love you.